Welcome to part two. How did you enjoy the end of the story? Spoiler alert, yes, he did get the silver medal, but the biggest lesson he learned is that the important thing is that he gets better and continues to practice and improve his form. Okay, so what I did here is I began finding definitions of some of the words that I underlined. For example, doubted means to be uncertain about. So when it says, I doubted him that night, as in I doubted Mr. LeBlanc, means that Patrick wasn't really sure if Mr. LeBlanc was right. Also, you can see here, a little messy, but simultaneous attacks happen in fencing. So attacks that are done at the same time. I was sure that Robert had deliberately broken the rules, meaning that I was sure that Robert had purposely broken the rules. The bruise was glistening, meaning that his bruise was shining. And looking at the bruise made him feel sick, made his stomach turn. Mr. LeBlanc suspended Robert, means to cause to stop, so Robert couldn't go practice for a while. And Mr. LeBlanc dismissed the class early, meaning ending the class early. Maybe Miss Oak will dismiss class early today, who knows. But yes, this is just a really good habit to build your English vocabulary and understand the story better in comprehension, etc. So I'd encourage you to continue to do this. But for now, let's go ahead and work on our workbook page 141. So you should have done this already by now on your own. If you haven't, pause the video and try to do it on your own. But I can go over the directions with you too. So here we have, write the initial of the person who you think said or would say each quotation. By initial, it means just write the first letter of each name. So for Patrick, you would write P. What would you write for Robert? R. Does that make sense? So you don't have to you don't have to write the whole name. So we got some quotes here. And then the second section, look at the colored words or the underlined words and find a synonym for each word below and then write it on the blank. Who remembers what a synonym is? Words that have similar meanings. So let me go over the underlined words with you first, and then I'd like you to either use your dictionary or thesaurus, or if you already know the meanings of these words, you can just use your brain. Having a dramatic moment. You can guess what that means. Perspiring means to sweat. Yep. Presiding judge. So presiding is the ruling, the one who's in charge. Deliberately tripping someone is not very nice. Can you guess what that means? Spectators. To look wistfully at something. It's like during class when you want to go outside and you look out the window wistfully, like, oh, I wish I was outside. That feeling. Masterful strength, just really, really good strength. And style in sport, even in soccer and dodgeball, style is important. The way that you do something, the way you kick the ball, the way you block, etc. All right, so go ahead and pause and try the workbook page on your own. Going over the answers now. Number 1, a champion at heart can never be defeated. Never be defeated. Who said this? If you look back a little bit, page 362, last paragraph. A champion at heart can never be defeated. Mr. LeBlanc added. So the teacher said, so it's L for LeBlanc. 2, strength alone guarantees nothing. Meaning, just because you're strong doesn't mean that you're going to win the fencing match. According to Patrick's, mom, it's important to practice, which is why she helps him practice at home. 3, a fencer wins any way he can. He can use strength, fear, even pain. Wow, to make his opponent give up and lose. Who would have said this? Robert, yes. Which we can see by the way that he attacked Patrick. 4, I can't let him win the match by frightening me. Another straightforward answer. Right here on page 362 again. Patrick is talking to LeBlanc and his dad, saying that he wants to go to the fencing competition because he doesn't want Robert to think that he scared him away. And 5, I fought defeat all my life, not just defeat in a fencing match, but the defeat of despair. Who here has been through a troublesome past? Who used to be a fencing champion? Yep, Patrick's dad. Good. I must fence my best, even if I can't defeat my opponent. So that was from actually the last page. When Patrick has the realization that he doesn't necessarily have to win the gold medal as long as he tries his best. Good. So I'm going to go over the answers for the last section. Here we go. Let's read this. It was a dramatic moment. The perspiring crowd of people stood silently, watching the strong man as he stepped up to the barbell. The presiding judge told him to begin, and the man obeyed. He grasped the heavy barbells and swung them up against his chest, deliberately holding them there until the judge signaled him. Then he lifted them straight up over his head. The spectators cheered, while the other weightlifters looked on wistfully. At the masterful strength of the man, his style made it look easy to hoist 350 pounds. Wow, that's strong. Okay, you can kind of use context clues here to guess the meanings of these words too. Sweating, what's another word for sweating here? Perspiring, very good. Another word for excellent. Excellent moment? Excellent judge? Not really. Excellent strength, yes. Try to substitute the words. That helps too. Purposefully, deliberately. Onlookers. So people who look. Spectators, yep. Audience. Tense. Tense. It's like that feeling you get before a test. Very tense and dramatic. Yeah, dramatic. Manner. Manner of doing something. Style of doing something. Ruling. Think of a king that rules. Presiding judge. Ruling judge. Same meaning. But not least, if you are looking longingly outside the window, you are looking wistfully outside the window. Well, if you have been looking wistfully outside, then good news, class is over. Great job. Take a break, and I will see you soon for spelling. Bye.